Folks, Matthew Lanigan here again with BayWa RE. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer here at BayWa. Really appreciate y'all taking some time to be with us and our latest partner, EZ Solar, and learn a little bit about their product. Just a couple of housekeeping notes. This will be recorded. It will be shared on our YouTube channel. If you haven't signed up already, we'd really appreciate if you did. You can see this webinar and all the previous ones we've done. We will also share the recording in our upcoming newsletter as well. We will be taking questions. You can just put them into the bottom right chat box, and we will answer them on the fly. So any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. Continuing education is really important to BayWa and our staff, and really happy to be able to extend that to our customer base as well. So I'd just like to test the chat box before we get going. So if somebody wouldn't mind just maybe putting something into the question box just to make sure that it's going. Okay, great. Thank you, Luke. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mark Tobler with EZ Solar, Vice President. Mark.
All right. Hey, I'm just going to put my camera on for just a second here so you get to see me in real time. And anyway, just super excited to be here today to take this opportunity. Thank you to each of you for making time to participate and let us share about our products here. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into this and let's rock and roll here. So as Matt said, we love just being partnered with BayWa. We're excited to be up in the Canadian market and hope that we can provide some real great value for each of you up there as you are trying to grow your businesses. So we focus on roof junction boxes. Just a little bit about me. I come from the construction management realm. I've got a construction management degree. I spent a long time in general contracting, project management. 8.5 years in fall protection, and I've been involved in solar for just about 2 years now, and am the Vice President of EZ Solar. So excited to be here and excited to share the cool new products and things that we have to help your businesses. Okay, so some learning objectives. We really want you to understand and explain the unique benefits of our EZ Solar Junction boxes. Also understanding the different types of roofs that our boxes work with, and understand with the different box options that you have what type of system is ideal and which box is the right fit for that. And a couple more. We want to show you and have you understand our newest product that hits the market here in just a week or two. It's the JB3 Universal Rail Mount box. Very exciting box. And also how to utilize us as a company to help your company save time and money, and then understand some installation best practices. We've got some tips and tips and tricks that we will share with you to really make the installation go well, quickly, and avoid some of the potential struggles that you might experience with a new product. So EZ Solar, our whole job is to, our motto is to make solar simple. And we do that by saving you guys time, saving you money, and offering a product that is superior quality. So we'll tackle all these. First, we'll kind of jump into this with the time savings associated with our products. So I have a very quick installation. So you're only cutting one layer of shingles. You can see on here that this single course of shingle is all that you have to cut with our boxes. On a Solodeck, a metal Solodeck, you cut around the entire profile of the box, and so you're cutting multiple layers of shingles, and that just takes time and effort. And if you're not careful, you can also strike down deep enough and cut the underlayment of the roof and compromise that waterproofing membrane down there. So one layer of shingle makes it very quick and easy, and you just use the lid of the box to trace that. We'll kind of go through that. Also, with our box, you can enter through 3 side walls. You can come the east, west, or south walls with your penetrations, with your strain strain reliefs. And so it makes it very user-friendly. Again, a lot of times we're running wires east to west in solar, and it just makes sense to be able to come right into the box through the east or the west wall. We also have a drill zone inside the box for flexibility and speed. You can put your attic entrance holes anywhere you need in this drill zone. You can do 2, 3, 4 holes, however many you need. And it allows you that flexibility. And then we also have built-in weep holes. So you're not spending time after you've installed a box to have to drill weep holes or anything to give that NEMA, that breathability that's associated with a NEMA 3R box. They're already built into the box, and you can just put the box in and rock and roll. So those are the four big aspects that really help with the speed of the installation. There's also the fact that our boxes are very flexible. We want this to be a box that allows you to accomplish the install in a variety of situations. In these pictures here that we're showing, this particular home did not have attic access. And so you can still install the box right onto the rooftop per the directions, and then run your conduit runs right into the box. And so it can still just be surface mounted and used in that fashion. You do not have to make an attic penetration if that's not an option. Okay, and then we're also coming from the construction world. Both the owner and I spent a lot of years in construction. It's say no to H2O is one of the big catchphrases. You definitely do not want water. And so we have 3 layers of waterproof protection that are associated with our boxes. The first one is the design of the box itself. Just like a house, it is shaped to where it's a natural diverter of water and debris. As that water and debris makes its way down the roof slope, the box diverts that away from the box itself. Second is there's a built-in flashing that integrates into the roofing. Our box and flashing is one solid unit. There's no seams associated with our box, so you don't have to worry about a seam that could potentially fail and cause a leak into the home. We want this to be just a single piece flashing and enclosure or one, and that gives it the best security. So that flashing also integrates into the roofing. And then the last layer of protection, which is the ultimate layer of protection, is that we have a sealant guide on the back of each box. So you can see that little indentation there. This is exactly where you want to put your sealant, as shown in the next picture here. And the beauty of it is then once you install this box with the 4 screws that are inside of that protected envelope as well, then this sealant becomes a compressed sealed fit to the box. Or excuse me, from the box and the roof, you get a compressed sealed fit. And so then you have this where your drill zone is on the interior of the box. You have a very, very protected 3 layers deep on protection. And if you can imagine, if water was ever to make its way over the edge of the flashing to the back side of this flashing, as that water came in, as it hits that compressed sealed barrier, it would just follow that barrier, the path of least resistance, right down and outside underneath the box. So again, you're never going to have to worry about leaks if you install the box properly. And that's our whole goal, is to make it very quick, intuitive, and then to be a very secure connection for 25 plus years on a roof. High quality. So our boxes are also very high quality. We make all the boxes here in the United States. Some of the comp shingle boxes are made in Kentucky. We actually make one of the versions in Utah as well. And then we have our other boxes, the tile version and the universal. Okay, perfect. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. Sounds like we had a little bit of a technical difficulties there. It pushed us out. So I was saying quality on the product. Forgive me if you heard this, but made in the US. We make the comp shingle boxes in Kentucky and one version in Utah. And then we also make our tile roof and our universal rail mount box in Utah. It's all made from polycarbonate, which is the right polymer to be out there in that exposed, direct UV exposure, hot and cold temperature swings. Think about commercial skylights, automobile headlights, bulletproof glass. Actually, that's where you know, the polycarbonate is what stops that bullet. And then in the industry, the solar industry, your in-phase and solar edge inverter and combiner boxes are polycarbonate. So it's very trusted material because it is the right material that can withstand and be 25, 30 plus years on a roof or on the side of a house and not have issues. all the UL certifications for both the United States and Canada. We go through all that rigorous testing that all your manufacturers that are having electrical components in the solar go through. And NEMA 3R rated, which I mentioned earlier. We have those weep holes in all the boxes. That's to give breathability, because your attic space and your ambient air temperature is going to be different. You're going to get natural occurring condensation. You want that to dissipate as quickly as possible. And that airflow, that NEMA 3R rating is critical for that. And then there's a 25-year limited warranty. So again, we truly believe that these products need to be lasting as long or longer than the systems that they're being installed with. And so we've got a great warranty on them. Okay, and then just to kind of show you a fun little video here about the quality of polycarbonate, just because it's not a real well understood. It's totally different than your PVCs and ABSs and typical plastics that you might think about. And so let me just kind of show you this video. Be a fun one to see here.
It's not plastic, it's polycarbonate.
All right, so that's kind of a fun video there to just again illustrate how durable polycarbonate is. You know, and there's a reason that we use this particular polymer for these boxes. So very, very high quality. Okay, so comp shingle boxes. We have two different comp shingle boxes. We have a JB 1.2, which is on the left side of the screen, and then the JB 1.XL. The difference is this comes traditionally with a 4-port ground bar. This particular box actually shows a 5-port, but it's typically a 4-port, and this one has a 5-port. They both have drill zones, as you can see, and they both come with DIN rail, but the 1.2 has a loose DIN rail, and you can attach it via these holes here in the box if you'd like to use it. But if you're going to use DIN rail for terminal blocks, we recommend the EZ JB 1.XL box, because it gives you plenty of room to be able to do your wiring and keep things nice and to do those larger 5-6 string systems. And so the JB 1.XL, for a size reference, is basically the same size of your metal Soladeck. So if you're used to that size of box, the JB 1.XL would be the appropriate size box. And then the 1.2 is half that size. So 100 cubic inches and 200 cubic inches. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. The single unit with the flashing in the enclosure and has all the, you know, stainless steel screws for the lids and all that stuff. Okay, here's just kind of that rundown again. The differences: 100 versus 200, 4-port versus 5-port, a loose DIN rail versus a pre-installed DIN rail. And then it has the XL has a slightly higher rating, 120 amps versus 80 amps on the 1.2. So what we say is the JB 1.2, if you're going to do a system that's like 5, 6, 7, 8 kW, you know, clear up to even 10 kW, the JB 1.2 is a great box. If you're going to do a larger system, 10 plus kW system, and you're especially going to use terminal blocks, we would recommend the XL. So just keep that in mind as you kind of look at those two options. Okay, so some tips and tricks as far as just installing the box. So make sure that you use the enclosure's lid as a template to trace your cut on the shingles. Do not cut the entire profile of the box out. You only need to cut that one layer. It saves you time, and again, keeps you from potentially damaging the underlayment of the roof. And then make sure you are 0 to 2 inches below the shingle course above. And that shows on our installation instructions that come with every box. And there's also a QR code that you can scan. So even the newest guy on a job site could scan that, watch a 1-minute video of how this installs, and install the box. And then you just want to we recommend using scissors or snips to cut the shingles rather than a razor knife, just because, again, if you're not careful, you might be able to cut too deep with the razor knife and cause issues to the underlayment of the roof. So recommendation there, a tip would be scissors and snips, and it makes it cut really easy. There's also flex in the flashing. So that polycarbonate has, the flashing is a little bit flexible, and that's so once you put your Geo or M1 on the bottom of the box where the sealant goes, you can kind of push that and use the flex that's in that flashing to be able to flex it and slide it into place in the shingles without smearing the sealant on the bottom of the box. And so you truly are getting it put into place and then dropping it and having the full amount of sealant that gets compressed against the box and the roof. And then follow the sealant guide. Again, don't cross the bottom of the box and plug the weep holes. We want that breathability. That's critical to, just have longevity of the system. So make sure you just follow the sealant guide and don't, go rogue and start putting sealant everywhere else. Now you can, I will say, there are guys that they'll kind of do a loop of sealant around their, their connectors and stuff. They're going into the attic space. You can still do that. Just don't. The big key is do not put sealant around those weep holes that would potentially plug them. Okay, and then again, I already mentioned this, but for a new installer, totally no worries. They've got a QR code. They can watch a video and they're off to the races. So I'll just show you quickly the video, just how quick and easy this installs. And this is the video that they would be able to see on the rooftop.
This is a real B&H customer story. Steph Mandis came to B&H to take her photography to the next level.
Determine the location for the junction box on the roof surface. Using the lid as a guide, place the top of the lid 0 to 2 inches from the bottom of the second course of shingles. And trace the outline of the lid on the first course of shingles. Cut the roofing material to the shape of the lid outline. Then use a roofing bar to loosen shingles and remove any nails that would interfere with the flashing. Slide the junction box into place. Using a drill bit, drill through the box and roof simultaneously within the approved drill zone. Remove the junction box and drill appropriately sized holes in the box and decking for required fittings. Clean off all burrs. Apply roofing sealant to the underside of the flashing following the sealant indentation guide. Slide the junction box back into place. Secure the box to the roof decking using the 4 Phillips panhead screws. Install approved fittings and strain reliefs and complete your wiring installation. When connections are complete, finish by installing the lid using 5 Phillips panhead screws. Hand tighten until head touches lid top.
Okay, perfect. So a couple things I'll mention that I didn't mention previously is our box is designed specifically to maximize that flashing, the size of it that you need for maximum protection, but also minimizing how large it is. It's significantly smaller flashing size than, say, like a Solidec or a Soltection box. Some of those are really, really big, and you end up having to really get into the roofs and kind of take the risk of damaging shingles, but also having to run into a lot more shingle nails and stuff that you're going to have to work around. So we're really just trying to make this very, very simple, but give you maximum protection. And the last thing would be, we, again, coming from construction, it does say hand tighten the screws on the lids. We know that guys and gals on the crews are not going to do that. They're going to be efficient, fast. They're going to use a drill gun. So once they get a little bit of pop-up, if they just stop, they'll be totally fine. It's totally fine to do it with an impact gun or a screw gun. So okay, perfect. So that's that. If there's any questions, feel free to ask them, or we can wait till the end. But I'm going to move on to the tile box, and I'll kind of just breeze through this. I know this probably isn't the biggest market up there for tile, but I want you to be aware that it is an option. in case you ever do come across a job needing it. So this is our JB2 box. It comes with everything you see here, a universal dead soft aluminum flashing, the box, 5-port ground bar, DIN rail, screws, installation instructions. Key features is that it has a universal flashing. So whether you're dealing with a flat S or W shaped concrete tile roof, you'll be able to use the box. There's no cutting of roof tiles. That's a huge, huge advantage. And you can see here just some examples here of how big the flashing is. It just integrates right into the roofing and molds to the shape or profile that you're dealing with. Also, the DIN rail is in a revolutionary position where it's up high. This box, it's hard to tell in this picture, but it's actually probably about 6 inches deep right here. And that's obviously purposeful so that you get it mounted down to the roof deck. But the DIN rail is right up here, just inside. You can come through these 3 sidewalls still, and all your wiring's done up really high and easy to access, but you have a lot of space where you can do service loops and things into that extra cavity space below the DIN rail. Also allows the box to securely fasten to the deck. Again, so you can see a little better how big this is. There's a little bit of a female flashing here that mates with this male neck on the aluminum flashing. So they integrate together to create a tight water seal. So we actually put sealant around these 4 edges on the flashing, and when you drop the box in, it just seals it all together again as one unit. And this is kind of what that looks like. So as you put that on and as the box drops in there, it just pushes it, and the enclosure and the flashing just seal together with the sealant. So there's just a couple pictures to kind of show how that works. Also, it's like I said, it's very large, has 250 cubic inches, so 50 cubic inches more than our XL comp shingle box. Has a 5-port ground bar. It has that loose DIN rail. So again, if you want to use it, you put it right there on the upper part of the box. If you don't have to worry about using it. There's hardware packs. It's 1,000 VDC. I got a typo here. It's 120 amps, not 8,120 amps, but 120 amps, can handle 4 to 6 string system. Again, wire it how you want. Wire nuts, WAGOs, wire crimps, terminal blocks, Polaris plug. You know, there's lots of ways that wiring happens. It's all up to your preference. And then you can enter through the 3 sidewalls, and we have weep holes built in and a sealant guide. Okay, so drill zone, just like our other boxes, very similar. Weep holes, same thing. We got 2 weep holes on it. We have the sealant guide, which is a depression here. And you have 5 screws that attach this down and give you that compressed sealed fit to the deck. And then again, this kind of just shows you complete strain relief on the one side, 5-port ground bar, DIN rail. You can see the fitting down at the bottom of the box in the drill zone as well. And so this is kind of, again, just to illustrate what this does as you attach, and this would be similar on our other boxes as well, as we pulled this one off the roof after it was installed. It just shows you how thick and how secure that sealant really spreads. You know, it's about 1 inch thick all the way around the perimeter of that box that really protects any penetrations going into the attic. I cannot emphasize enough how critical that is to make sure you don't have leaks. And you can see that some of that sealant also comes out on the outer edge of the box, just adds additional protection there. Okay, so tips and tricks. Use both hands to push the box down as you're putting it in, you know, after the flashing slides into place. So what happens? You pull one tile off, flashing slides into place. You want to, as you put the box down there to mark where you're going to make your hole to your attic, just use both hands. That dead soft aluminum will conform, and it will bend appropriately to make sure that you get the box in there snug and fit properly. Make sure the flashing here on the bottom in this picture overhangs about 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches is what you want, because you'll do this little tab here at the end of the process. And we do this tab, fold it under and stick it under the adjacent tile, just so you don't get any wind vibration where you might have an annoying little, you know, click like this in a windstorm or something. Don't want that annoyance for any kind of homeowners. And then place sealant on the edge of the metal flashing before final placement. So you can put sealant underneath this whole edge if you'd like. And then the big critical thing again is just put it on the east, west, and north sides of the box, as you saw in the pictures previously. Just on these sides of the box. You do not want on the south side the weep holes. You want to be to remain open so that they don't lose the breathability. And then you can also use the plastic sack that the enclosure is packaged in as a trash bag on the roof, and that would be true with any of our boxes. We're really trying to be waste management conscious as well, where you're not having cardboard boxes and things that you're having to deal with. You have these little poly bags that can be easily used as a trash sack or just stuffed in your pocket. Okay, and then we'll do a quick installation video so you understand that one fully.
Hey, have you seen these new?
Determine the location for the JB2 on the roof surface. Loosen tiles in the row above the desired location. Remove the roof tiles where the JB2 will be located. Insert the aluminum flashing with the top edge underneath the row of tiles above. Center pentagon in the opening. Pressing firmly with both hands, bend the flashing to form to the contour of the roof tiles. Place the JB2 base into the opening in the flashing. Drill through the box and roof simultaneously within the approved drill zone. You will need a 6-inch or longer drill bit extender. Remove the JB2 and drill appropriately sized holes in the box and decking for required conductor fittings. Clean off all burrs and install your fittings. Apply a generous bead of sealant to the flashing sidewalls, as well as the underside of the JB2. Secure the JB2 to the roof decking using 5 Phillips panhead screws. Populate the JB2 with the needed components that are suitable for your intended purpose. Use a pair of tin snips to snip the bottom edge of the flashing on each side, creating a tab. Tuck the tabs under the adjacent tiles. When connections are complete, finish by installing the lid using the screws provided. Tighten until screw head fits snug on lid.
All right, so that's that. So very easy. If you ever have done a tile roof with a Solidec tile option or something, it's very big. You got to take 7 or 8 tiles off a roof, and so we're just trying to make a product that's universal, it's quick, allows you to do these jobs efficiently and have maximum protection and just very clean look on the roof. So that's the tile box. Okay, so now let's jump into, here's a couple pictures, I guess, kind of what those look like. Just in case you're curious, these guys did put sealant under each of these edges, just fold those tabs, pretty good. And then here on an S-tile roof, same type of deal. So really, really smooth option if you ever have to use that. Now let's jump into this one. This one I think would be really exciting for y'all. You have a lot of application hopefully, but metal roofs or even comp or tile roofs that don't allow you attic access. Our newest product here is the JB3 Universal Rail Mount Box. So we're super excited about this box, excited to get it in the market here in just a week or two and to get feedback from installers, see how much you all love it. So here's the details on the box. You have 109 cubic inches. So in perspective, if you are if you've used the 1.2, our JB 1.2 box, it's just slightly a little bit more cubic inch space than that box. It's got a 5-port ground bar. It's got a loose DIN rail, the hardware package, same ratings, 1000 VDC, 80 amps, can handle 4-string system, no problem. And ideal for any roof needing a rail mount box. Wire it appropriately, again, terminal blocks, crimps, however you want. So some of the new innovative features that we've added to this box that are not on the other boxes, but eventually will be incorporated to all of our products, is we did some drill zone boundary lines. And we did these boundary lines because we were having feedback from installers where they'd get a new person on the crew or whatever, and they would drill too close to the edge of the box, to the corner, and then their lock nuts would not go on, and so they're having to throw the box away. They're losing material money, and so we put these boundary lines to help indicate stay within these boundary lines with your holes. You'll always be able to get your lock nuts on and not have to waste any product. Also, it has it's a universal fit, as I mentioned. So the universal rail mount box, so it'll attach to any racking system, Unirack NXT, Iron Ridge, Snap and Rack, whoever the racking is, it will attach. And then it has a snap-in DIN rail. So you can see in this picture, there's a slot right here. So the DIN rail comes loose, but you can put the bottom of it here in the slot. And then it's got a couple tabs here. So when you push on this, it snaps right into place. It keeps it a little bit off of the floor of the box. And then again, just allows you to quickly and efficiently place the DIN rail in there for any terminal block usage. And you don't have to use any tools. The box also, you can see in this picture, also has the wheat poles down here. We're always going to have wheat poles, and in this particular version, we didn't show it, but we're adding a wheat pole. We'll have a wheat pole on the upside of the box as well. So both sides will have wheat poles, and that way you can mount the box either way, either direction on the rail, and still have your your wheat poles. So some tips and tricks here with the JB3. Place the stainless steel clamps. The little slots, the little tabs that the stainless clamps attach to are developed in such a way that once you put those clamps on, that it holds the clamps there. You don't have to worry about holding them. And then you can slide the box right onto the rail. And if you already have a rail foot that's in the way, you can undo the clamps all the way and just put them over the rail where you want it and then reattach. Let the box rest on the roof and then tighten the clamps. The box will self-level to the racking. And then make sure that your screw heads are perpendicular. So in this picture, what we mean is that the screw heads start perpendicular to the racking. And as you place your drill on here and screw this tight, that mechanism will obviously come over here and be on the vertical side of the rail. But that's the way you want to start it. And then let's just watch a video here just to really just show you how quick and easy, very, very simple installation, but awesome because you can use it in so many different applications with any manufacturer's racking.
How do we know you'll love pretzel crust? Because this person begged us to never tease them again about their precious pretzel crust.
Okay, that easy. And I should mention that the stainless steel clamps that are on the box, they have a 5/16 hex head on them. And the screws for the box lid itself will be a 5/16 hex head as well. We originally were going to do 1/4 inch, and as we got around and talked to installers, they said, no, a better one would be the 5/16. So 5/16 hex heads to run the clamps and to install the lid. And the clamps will also still have a flathead slot in them, if desired, but hex head's definitely the way to go. Very efficient and quick.
Mark, we do have a question. It says, sorry if I missed this one, but do those rail attachments come with the box?
Yes, yep, absolutely. So great question. So the box comes with the DIN rail, the stainless steel clamps, the hardware. Absolutely. So if you buy the box, you can take it and attach it to any railing, rail system. And that's part of what we're going for is, there's other rail mount boxes out there, but they require, additional hardware, additional T-bolts, maybe an additional bracket that you attach a box to and then attach to the rail. We're trying to forego all of those extra steps and just make it simple. Buy the box, pull it out, put on your stainless steel clamps, slide it onto any rail that you come in, play with. And, some guys are looking at using this on ballasted systems and all the above, wherever you have some racking or a framework that you can put the box, you can definitely put it and use that box. So absolutely, we'll definitely come with all the attachment hardware. And then let me just do, again, this is kind of a fun video. It shows you again how durable, how strong the product is, the stainless steel clamps on these new boxes. So let me just pull this up.
I'm reviewing the JB3 from EZ Solar. This is a, now that we've installed it, let's go ahead and do the durability test. This material is strong. That was one soft hit. That's impressive. I started out hitting it kind of soft.
Okay, so I'll stop that there, but you can see, I mean, hopefully, obviously, nobody's up there with a sledgehammer on a roof going after our products, but it goes to show, you know, he hit that 6, 7, 8 times before he was able to damage that box versus the other little PVC box that just one little swipe and it knocked it off. And so again, we firmly believe that there's got to be the right balance of cost versus quality, and we're trying to bring this product at a great price, but it's got superior quality to where you're going to be 25 plus years on a roof, no problem, and you're not going to have to worry about leaks and you know, the box warping or cracking or getting brittle like you would with some of the other products that are sometimes being used. And the best part about it is you don't have to sit there and try to self-tap, screw a box to the side of a rail. Just again, slides, you saw in the installation video, literally 10 seconds, 15 seconds, you can install that box. So that's that. So here's a couple common questions we've kind of talked about, so I'm not gonna go over these in too much detail. Unless there's questions, please ask through the chat and Matt can ask me. But again, we went over polycarbonate not being PVC or ABS. This is truly a product that's gonna last 25 plus years. There's no punch outs. That's true. We do not have punch outs on the boxes. Like a Solidec, you know, there's punch outs as you use and you drill out and do your fittings. So you're using expensive bits to drill metal. You're kind of stuck where those punch outs are to make your penetrations into the box. We don't want that. We want that flexibility. And so the east, west, south walls are wide open. You put your fitting, your strain relief where you need it, where you want it. We also don't have any little dimple indicators on those walls to say, here's where you can drill. Because again, coming from the industries that we do, we know if guys see something, if you have 2 dimples on a sidewall and your conduit or entrance for your strain relief needs to come right in between those, it could cause you to have a little bit of brain freeze and think, oh man, well, it doesn't show that that's where I can drill, and so should I drill there or not? And so we don't want that. We want guys to understand, installers to understand that you put the hole where you need it on those sides of the walls. There's no restrictions there. So flexibility, it's all about flexibility and speed. There's no gasket in the lid. We get asked this, I don't see a gasket. I can tell you this, our first version had a gasket. We ended up getting rid of it to be able to bring the box at a better price. You do not need a gasket because we're not doing a 4X completely waterproof box. We're doing a watertight NEMA 3R box where you have that breathability. Now with the polycarbonate lid and the big overhangs on it, you're never going to have water getting up through the lid. Again, it's that natural condensation that you want those weep holes for. But there are some boxes that people use, they'll put it into place, but then again, they're having to drill weep holes to be able to get that NEMA 3R rating. How does it compare to the other boxes? I think we've talked about this. Again, we're coming at a price point that is an awesome price point. And you know, Matt and the BayWa team can give you the pricing on all the products, and you can see for yourself how awesome it is. It's going to save you money on the material, but more importantly, the ease of installation with all of our products is so great that you're going to save and be more efficient on the labor side of a project as well. And then, you know, last question, can I buy direct from you? If you ask me that, I'll tell you no. I'll tell you to go visit Matt and the BayWa team. We sell everything through distribution. So that's kind of that. Here's the little products. I do have some quick links. You can find all these links on our website. I'm also happy to share this presentation to Matt, and he can, and to the BayWa team, they can pass it along to each of you if you would like to have a little bit of this information at your fingertips. And there's also some videos and testimonials of different installers down here in the States. But that's really the presentation I have for you about the ultimate PV rooftop junction boxes, the EZ Solar products. Let's see if there's any questions.
Any questions out there, folks? I'm not seeing any, so I'll just do a couple of housekeeping notes on the way out. Once again, this was recorded. It'll be up on our YouTube channel as well as our monthly newsletter. We will share all of those training links. It'll also be on our social media channels. You can find all the spec sheets, pricing, inventory levels, install manuals on our web shop. So if you haven't signed up for the web shop yet, we'd like to encourage you to do so. It's a really great tool, and we like to see it as an extension of your business. If you do have questions, please call your reps. There's lots of sales reps inside and outside sitting around ready to answer your questions. We also have free samples. So if you folks would like to get a sample in your hands, just let us know. We're happy to do that. We've sent out lots of samples. We've had really high uptake with this product with a lot of our long-term large installers. So we're having really great success with it. So once again, thank you, Mark, with EZ Solar, really great partner. Really proud to have the product on board, and thank you everybody for attending today.